on to your reading test, let's talk about time management. How to complete IELTS reading on time, and how many types of questions are there in IELTS reading?
Let me answer your second question first. Most up-to-date understanding I have is that there are 14 or close to 14 different question types in an IELTS reading test. I'm not going to list them all here purely for time. I think all of that information is available on IELTSessentials.com, so candidates should definitely go and become more familiar with all of those types of questions. Time management, it's a problem for most candidates. Individuals will have to be aware of how long 1 hour is, how much reading they can get done within that 1 hour. What that means is that candidates should do 1 hour timed practice reading tests. Cambridge does provide several books around this that will allow candidates to have access to the questions and the reading and the answers. However, not every candidate does it to time. It's so important that they get used to the 1 hour. It's not the most exciting thing to do, but it does pay off. Another thing to mention might be that, again, a bit like the listening test gets easier to more difficult, so does the reading. The first reading task of 3 is generally the easiest, with the third and final reading being, in general, a bit more difficult, more words, a slightly higher lexical range than the first one. So, during practice timed sessions that the students and candidates are doing, they should be aware of that. They should try and be a bit faster with the first reading to leave a little bit more time for the later readings. One more thing really to do that is don't get stuck on a question. It's a way to waste time. A question that a candidate would spend 5 minutes looking for the answer for is too long. If they can't really get it within 1 or 2 minutes, well, 1 minute really, they need to be thinking about moving on to the next question. They can always come back to it again. Once they've reached the end of a reading set of questions, they might actually have discovered the answer for the question they got stuck on earlier. So don't get stuck on questions. Keep moving, keep going. You can always come back to questions that you've missed. That would be my general advice.
How to solve fill-in-the-blank questions in IELTS reading?
A few things here. Number 1, make sure you read the instructions. Is it 1 word? Is it 2 words? Is it 3 words and or a number? So that's important, that there might be instructions regarding that. Definitely to use their knowledge of grammar to aid them in answering this. What do I mean when I say that? I mean that they would know, for example, if it's a verb infinitive or a verb ing, based on the grammar around it. If the blank is preceded by an adjective, there's a very good chance it's going to be a noun. That type of grammar knowledge can feed into those fill-in-the-blanks. There are 2 types of fill-in-a-blank as well, I believe. There's one where the candidate gets no choices to choose from, and there's another where a candidate might have a box with possible choices that they have to select the correct answer from. If it's that, be aware of obvious wrong answers. You can always remove obvious wrong answers, and that would leave less possible right answers. So if a candidate does have to make a guess, that they can have a more educated guess. I think those are the main things. Use your grammar knowledge. Don't get stuck if you don't know. Use the most obvious. Don't give wrong answers if it's an obvious wrong answer. Okay?